Hi, this is ig33ku, and I'm just going to talk about the last part of the saga of my Acer Aspire One. This little guy started out as a Acer Aspire One A110L, which had a 4 gig SSD card inside and came with Asus Linux. I wasn't happy with that. I played with it for a few days and I wasn't happy with it, so I went online and discovered how to put Windows on the SSD and then installed the program files on an SD card, which I could put into one of the 2 slots. After a while, I found it quite limiting. It was pretty interesting, but it was very limiting. So I then bought a 1.8 hard drive. I think it was 30 gigs. It came from iPod, and it uses a GIF connection. So I plugged it in and installed Windows XP again, and I was pretty happy with that. The laptop, the netbook, and I had some good times. Unfortunately, I dropped it a few times and had to reset the connection for the hard drive. But after a while, it kind of wore out the GIF port on the motherboard, so I was stuck at 0 again. And I looked around the net and I found out that some people then custom connected SATA ports onto the motherboard, because the motherboard itself for this model has SATA connections but no socket. So I made a couple of custom connections. I think you've seen it in my other videos. And I put in a 2.5-inch hard drive, and then I installed Windows XP again on it, and that served me for quite a while until I have a habit of dropping the laptop, so I dropped it a few more times again, and this kind of broke the solder connections of the socket. I had to resolder it on again, and after a while this kind of like permanently damaged those connections on the motherboard. So after maybe 6 months, I couldn't use the hard drive, 5.5-inch hard drive anymore, because it couldn't detect it. So I tried several other methods, using the PCI port and then using a SATA connection from there, but that didn't work out. So I was left with it for about over a year. It wasn't doing anything. I did try some Linux installed onto thumb drives, but I didn't like Linux so much, and it was quite slow on the netbook as far as I was concerned. So then I came across recently, about 3 weeks back, the Android x86 project, which was a PC port of the Android onto to desktop CPUs. So I downloaded the latest version, which was 4.0, and then release candidate 2 for the EEEPC, and it works perfectly on my netbook, as you will see later on. But there's several shortcomings, of course. There's no video hardware decoding or OpenGL hardware decoding, so everything's done in software mode. My USB ports are unusable, except for the port which I've soldered internally that the thumb drive is connected to, which the Android is installed on, which is, by the way, an 8 gig thumb drive. Other than that, it works perfectly well. I can't play some games, of course, because without hardware acceleration, I can't play like Angry Birds, Star Wars, or Bad Piggies. But I hope in the next release of the Android x86, they might come around and fix those problems, especially have a GL acceleration. And I'm not too worried about the ports and things. I don't mind that. Other than that, I don't think I'll be upgrading my laptop anymore, except maybe change the USB drive, because the USB drive right now inside it is quite slow. It's an 8 gig drive, but it's quite slow. I think it does only 5 megabytes per second write, and about 7 or 8 read. So if you get notifications for emails or you're browsing the web, there's a considerable slowdown because it has to write onto the drive, and when it's writing it can't read. So basically it's something like that. I might upgrade it maybe to a USB 3 flash drive, which has a better read-write speed, and then maybe I might upgrade the battery, which is quite old actually. It's 4 years old. So I might send it to someone to refurbish it. They will just take out the internal batteries and they'll replace it with brand new fresh ones. So practically be like out of the box speed. I think even if it's possible, I think you might be even give me higher capacity batteries, so I'll have a longer battery time. I don't need to have it plug in all the time. Anyway, enough of my chattering. On with the demo. I'm a scat man. Everybody says one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't have nothing over that. If the scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man's getting the girls and never stutter when they sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutter and the scat is the same thing. You on the scat man. I think when you're cruising in a politician, using the time, she just if they could. Instead of the condition that solves my intuition, and it only makes me crazy and a whole lot weird. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the scat man. So check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't have nothing hold you back. The scat man can do it, so can you. I hear you all asked about the meaning of scat, well, I'm the professor and all I can tell you. It's why we still sleep and the saints are still weak and those things you all dead and yet have the chance to be born. I'm the scat man. I'm a scat man. Everybody says one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't have nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man's getting the girls and never stutter when he sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutter and the scat is the same thing. You on the scat man. I think when you're cruising in a politician using the time, she just if they could. Instead
is a condition that solves my intuition, and it only makes the crazy and a whole lot weird. Everybody struggles one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the scat man. I'm a scat man. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't have nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man stutters, but those that never stutter when it sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutters and the scat is the same thing. You are the scat man. My intuition and it only makes the crazy and a whole lot weird. Everybody struggles one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. I'm the scat man.